Welcome back to Keeping It Comic. Today we're diving into the Venom War Lethal Protectors issue number 1. With Silver Sable on the hunt, is she the new nightmare for the symbiotes? We start off with Liz Allan, who looks amazing rocking the Misery symbiote in New York. If you don't know, Misery is an offspring of both Carnage and Anti-Venom. So yeah, she's not someone you want to mess with. While fighting off a horde of zombiotes, Liz makes a distress call to none other than Silver Sable. She has a job for Sable and her wild pack of misfits. Liz's words, not mine. So who is the wild pack? Well, that's Puma, Lightbright, Tarantula, Strikelin, Navab, and Lena, all led by Silver Sable. Liz also mentions how she hopes the defense upgrades she provided were all received, and she is pulling the priority card on this mission, making it an alpha level. Now, I don't really know if she's someone that has this authority or if she's just a client. They don't really get into this, so I'm hoping later on we get this type of information. I know you're probably wondering too, what are these upgrades? We're gonna get into that, so don't you worry. But can I just point out how Liz is casually leaving a voicemail while falling from a building, fighting a bunch of zombiotes while dropping her phone? She must have Verizon or something because her reception is impressive. Meanwhile, Sable's too busy having some, adult time with Dominic to even answer the call. But that's another story. The team and us are only told that they're retrieving a package from the Life Foundation and the contents are unknown. And I get why Liz calls them misfits because they are definitely not on the same page. They're heading into a mission with unknown circumstances and danger. And what's everyone up to? Tarantula's getting drunk. Puma, Lightbright, and Strikelin don't trust the defense upgrades. And Lena doesn't think that Sable's telling them the whole truth about the mission. I don't think I want to be part of this team at all. Oh, and poor Navab, he's freaking out flying his plane on the first mission with this team. His hands are shaking so much that the team questioned if there was turbulence. Thankfully, Sable stepped in, calming him down with her steady presence. Great start, you guys. They finally arrive and parachute down into the Life Foundation building and make their way to the bottom floor. There's something banging on the door, and our fearless group decides, yep, we're going in. Of course, out comes a zombio who somehow gets past not one, not two, but 6 individuals and scratches Navab on the arm. He pulls his sleeve down and hides it. Classic bad move in every horror movie in history, I promise you that. So they reach the lab where there's several tanks. Now, you can't see through any of these tanks, but one of these tanks is soundproof. Clearly, this is the package. And yet, we still don't know what's in it. Just then, Puma points out more zombiotes are coming. And let me tell you, they are surrounded. And when I say surrounded, I mean it is 100 versus this group of misfits. At this point, Silver Sable says authorization code 5042. And everyone's armband lights up and says, authorized lethal protector mode initiated. Remember those defenses that we said we were going to get into? Let's get into them right now. Well, we finally get to see what they do. Strikelin transforms into Phage, Puma becomes Riot, Navab becomes Agony, Tarantula becomes Lasher, Lightbright becomes Scream, and Lena, well, she introduces us to a new symbiote named Flicker, who looks like a blue flame. Honestly, it looks incredible. But right as the battle starts, Agony detaches from Navab's body saying, host transforming, infected. It's crazy that the symbiotes can tell this. And it completely jumps off of him. 2 seconds later, Navab's armband explodes, killing both Navab and Agony. The team immediately blames Sable, who explains that the band only explodes if the host is already dead to stop the symbiote from escaping. So that means if you're wearing one of these bands and you get scratched, it's automatically going to explode once you fully transform, because we all know zombies are not living creatures. So this kind of makes sense. Then the real drama kicks in. Remember, the misfits. Puma, aka Riot, punches Sable right in the stomach. But here's the kicker. Those armbands also have another function. That betrayal triggered a hypersonic ringing in Riot's ear. So not only is it a means to keep the symbiotes in line, but also their host. It's clear Sable trusts no one. At the same moment, Agony drops back down and starts bonding with Sable. It's wild because Sable screams for help as we see flashes of her painful past flood her mind. Everything from her grueling training sessions with her father to the loss of her mother who was murdered right in front of her, the memories weigh heavy on her, fueling for more power. Meanwhile, the whole team just stands there. I don't know if they're in shock or they're just angry for her not telling them the full dynamics of the armbands or the mission. But either way, they just watch as Agony and Sable become the perfect partners, giving birth to the Silver Symbiote. And that's where we leave off. So what do you think's next for our newly formed form Silver symbiote. I really do think it's cool that in this chapter, we already got 2 new symbiotes. I'm curious to what their powers and abilities are going to be. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe for more breakdowns just like this one. And until next time, thanks for kicking it with Keepin It Comic.